Okay, welcome to ABR TV, ABRlive.tv. This is our kind of a new thing we're doing. It's a post-game show Tuesday night. Had a lot of great basketball in the Augusta area. We tweeted it out as the night went along, but we'll waste no more time getting to it. We've actually got the West Side and Lakeside highlights up on the screen, but we're going to skip ahead. We're going to skip ahead to the Evans versus North Augusta game. Will, you saw Evans and North Augusta a couple weeks ago, and it was a blowout, right?
Yeah, a tough road test for the Knights back then. It seems like North Augusta athleticism really got to them early in the game, led to some turnovers and a lot of easy baskets for the Jackets, but I hear the Knights bounce back tonight.
Yeah, and you know, we wrote a story a couple days ago about Evans took a tough one to Glen Hills, came right back, beat Aquinas at home. Took a tough one a week ago to North Augusta. Now we see they came right back and paid them back at home. So our expert on the scene at that game was Mike Stokes. Mike is a longtime basketball guy here in the Augusta area. Attended Josie, attended and played a very successful career at Georgia Southern. Now he's the coach of the best AAU basketball team in the country, the Southern Stampede. I don't care what anybody says, that's my opinion. Mike, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so tell us about the game tonight.
Well, it was a pretty exciting game. North Augusta jumped out to a big lead in the first quarter by 15. Felt Evans stayed to their game plan. I think Coach Kennedy had a really good game plan. He fell back into a 1-3-1 and just let North Augusta make the mistakes, and they capitalized. And Damian Form did a great job of running the team, and they got hot on the three-point line, and North Augusta could never rebound from it.
Yeah, you speak about getting hot on the three-point line. We could see that in the highlights. We saw, I hope I get his name right, Kalan Lovett and Matlin Marshall, and of course Damian. You mentioned Damian Foreman having a great game, and so Damian really ran the show. He did that against Aquinas as well a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the Marshall kid also played good. I thought the guard play was the difference in that game. I think Marshall, made good baskets, got the ball to the people in very good positions, and the Marshall kid played a really good, steady game. And I thought Coach Kennedy had a really good game plan, and I think it took a lot for him to stay with the game plan once he fell down by 15, but he did, and his kids just played really, really hard.
Will, you've talked about the guard play at Evans and how deep they are. Does it surprise you that those guys played so well?
Not at all. They play with a different type of energy at home at Evans. The student section is great, really give those guys a lift. And he has a lot of guards. Coach Kenny has a lot of guards that can do a lot of things. He has some quick guards that can get up into you. He has some guards that can score. Just a lot of versatility for Coach Kenny on the perimeter.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Coach Kenny, we've heard Mike say a couple times that Coach Kenny had a great game plan. I wonder if Mike knows that Coach Kenny's with us right now. Sounds like he's kissing up a little bit, but why wouldn't you? Very successful, long-time coach here in the area. Coach, are you with us?
Yes.
Coach, hey, how'd it feel to bounce back? You took a tough one to not only North Augusta last week, you were able to come back, get a road win at Jefferson County, but then, then right after that last Saturday night, you lost to Hepzibah. I know you were a little bit thinking, I wish we were a little more consistent. How'd it feel to get a big one tonight?
Oh, it felt good. Basketball season is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And so we're a work in progress, is what I like to say. We're gonna have some. You and I talked before. We're a little consistent, and until we get that consistency, we're going to be an average, decent team. And once we become consistent, I think by the end of the year we're going to be pretty good. The kids responded well tonight to what we wanted to do.
Yeah. Now, Coach, one of the other things you told me was that I think your direct quote was, "I thought we would be better defensively at this point." How'd the defense look tonight?
Defense was great. Like I said, we evidently from last week, our man-to-man wasn't ready for North Augusta, so we decided to change up a little bit of practice, and we put in a 1-3-1 this week, and we figured we'd give that a shot. We've played it before, and kids did a great job. I mean, it took us a little while to get into it because they jumped out. North Augusta jumped out to a big lead, but we wanted to stick to what we were doing. We had faith in our trap, and so kids believed in it, believed in the 1-3-1, and I think the key to it was, Jacob and Matt Epps rebounding wise. And then we had a couple of kids come off the bench and help us with rebounding. Because North Augusta, they're a very, very good rebounding team. And I think we felt good with our guards. We felt our guards could match up. But we felt that the battle was going to be won on the boards, and I think we did a great job on that tonight.
Well, that's great. Great. I think a couple weeks ago when they were going to play Aquinas, we talked about, we're joking around, Will and I, a little bit about a Med Hill, and I said, well, I guess they could go zone, and Will said, no, Coach Kenny's got too much pride to go zone, and so it shows, the flexibility, willing to do what it takes to get the win, to put his team in a position to be successful. So congratulations, Coach. Now, who's up this weekend for you?
We have Jefferson County Friday and Harlem Saturday.
Okay. Well, good luck getting another bounce-back win against Jefferson County. And then now that game at Harlem, those are both home games, right?
No, Jefferson County's a home game, and Harlem's at Harlem. So,
okay.
And that's one thing about our kids. Prior to tonight, we had played 8 games, and we only had 1 home game, 7 of those on the road. So, it's been a tough 8 games for those kids, and I will say, I don't think it's a secret. We definitely have a very, very big home court advantage, and we do play better at home, I think, than on the road. And our student section carries us through a lot, and I don't know if the kids are just more comfortable there, but we're hard to beat at Evans.
Yeah. Well, great. Congratulations on the win. And I don't know about you, Will, but I'm looking forward not only to this Jefferson County game at home, because it's always fun to watch Evans at home, but that Harlem game. Harlem hasn't lost a game within Columbia County. I think there's something like 6-2 right now. And so, obviously I think Evans would be the favorite, but, the Harlem's got some, you talk about good guards. They've got some good guards too.
Yeah, but, we're talking to the king of Columbia County right now. He's not worried about what Harlem's record is in Columbia County.
Well,
Coach, one more thing. It seems like you guys are a different team when Foreman plays well. Do you feel like the other guys on the team gain confidence when they see Damon's off to a good start?
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. And actually, I told Damon after the game tonight, I said, that's probably the best game you've played here, most complete game. And, and Damon's responded very, very well. He's, he's struggled a bit early on, and he's come on the last few games, and he's been a leader on the court. And kids feed off that. And we told him, the way you go is the way we're going to go. Jacob's going to do what he does, and our guard's going to do what he does. But, there's no doubt Damon's our leader, and we're going to go the way he goes. And he had a fantastic game all the way around. He made a huge steal late in the game when they had cut it down to 3 or 4, and that was really the point right there. I think where we sealed the win when he had a great steal and we scored and bumped it up to 6 with about 30 seconds left. So it's a huge steal for him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck this weekend, and we'll keep in touch. Okay.
All right, Chad. Thanks a lot. Thanks for everything you guys do.
Congrats, man.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Now moving on, Will. We're not just in Augusta, and we're not just in Aiken, North Augusta. We go all the way to Columbia, and so our next guest is Kerry Rich. Kerry Rich is, former captain, point guard of the USC Gamecocks back in our day, or even a little bit before your day and kind of mine. He's a radio personality in Columbia with 560 the team, and he basically is the basketball guy in South Carolina, in my opinion. And Kerry was out watching one of our favorite guys tonight, Spring Valley's PJ Dozier. Kerry, are you with us?
I am with you guys. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great. Thanks for joining us. Now, you know, you've spoken to Will on Twitter lately. We'll get to that in a second. But now you guys kind of, at least the beginnings of, you get to square off a little bit verbally here tonight. But we'll get to that in a second. But you want to say hi to Kerry real fast?
What's up, Kerry? How you doing, man?
I'm having a terribly difficult time hearing you, but I will just give you a quick update from the Spring Valley Westwood game. It was a 51-38 final here in Columbia. Spring Valley winning at home, and of course we saw P.J. Dozier tonight. Didn't have a whole lot of points offensively in terms of numbers and stats, but as usual he impacted the game in so many different ways because of his ability to make plays for others, make plays for himself. At 6'5", he does a terrific job of getting to a spot comfortably with the basketball, but he's a terrific passer. And they played a boxing one. Westwood played a boxing one on them all night long, and I don't know whether their coach recognized the type of defense that they implemented tonight, but certainly he was still really, really good. And I just like to see a more aggressive P.J. Dozier every single possession because he's that type of player. He's that type of athlete that has that mentality, has that high IQ that you can trust as a coach to always make the right play. So he was didn't have a lot of numbers in terms of points, in terms of points that he scored. But if you look at his entire game stat sheet, he filled it up from left to right in terms of how he impacted the game, making plays for others.
Yeah. Now, Kerry, let me ask you this. Now, first of all, can you hear me? Kerry, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm barely hearing you. Sounds like an echo, and I apologize so much, but I'm barely hearing you.
Okay, well, we'll give it one more try, and if you can't quite get us, then we'll let you go and come back to you later. But the question I have for you is, did anybody in Columbia, did anybody in South Carolina see this coming with this Spring Valley team? They're something like 6-1. Their only loss has come to a powerhouse from North Carolina. I don't think people saw this coming, right?
Well, you're 100% right, and as a consumer of South Carolina basketball, I would tell you that I didn't see it coming. Certainly you knew about P.J. Dozier. He's going to always be captivating in terms of wanting to take a look at him and just casually observe to see what he's going to do night in and night out. But, man, they have another kid over here by the name of Dominic Taylor who's a football player, but, man, he's caught the eye. He's caught the attention of several connoisseurs of basketball, folks that enjoy watching basketball as we do. Matter of fact, went down to Orangeburg last week with an SEC assistant coach to watch P.J. Dozier, and the one thing he said was, certainly P.J. Dozier was really, really good, but just watching this kid, Dominic Taylor, who's a 6'4", tremendously athletic. He plays with a high motor every single possession, and he's done a really good job of impacting this basketball team. And we're watching P.J. Dozier play, and after 5 or 6 possessions, this SEC assistant turns to me and he asks, who is this guy? I'm watching P.J. Dozier, but this guy right here really, really plays hard. So certainly I've talked about when it comes to South Carolina, Marcus Stroman and Eric Hopkins from Keenan being the absolute best backcourt in the state. But Dominic Taylor and P.J. Dozier have really found a way to be relevant when it comes to arguably one of the best 1-2 punchers in the state of South Carolina. And, yeah, you're right. They surprised a lot of people, and they've gotten off to a tremendous start. And it's going to be very interesting to see what they do come conference time. Certainly they play the toughest region in the state. So I'm waiting to see whether they're for real or not. I know you have 2 really individually talented kids, but I don't know how good the basketball team is just yet. I'm still kind of in wait-and-see mode when it comes to the Spring Valley basketball team.
Yeah. Now, Kerry, if you can still hear me, the next thing we're going to do is our video guys are going to run some highlights of some other guards in the state of South Carolina, both Marcus Stroman and Aaron Scott, 2 guys that you saw this past weekend broadcasting from the Palmetto Challenge at ABR Live.tv. And so we get to see Stroman this weekend. We get to see Stroman and Hopkins this weekend against Oak Hill. And we saw Aaron Scott tonight. If you can go ahead and throw the Aaron Scott stuff up there. These guards are all part of your repertoire, Kerry, when we finally have our big debate between you representing South Carolina and Will Avery here representing Georgia. You see Scott on the screen, Will. You saw Dozier a little while ago. You've seen him in person. You've seen Stroman in person. Are you still confident here?
I love my guards, man. He's got okay guards over there in the Palmetto State, but nothing like the ones we have over here in the Peach State.
Oh, man.
He knows that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Kerry. I'm playing both sides of the fence on this thing. I'm going to be in the middle. I'm going to moderate. I'm going to break all ties. So I promise you that the two Georgia boys will not gang up on you in this one.
Well, I appreciate that, and I can tell that you're straddling the fence, Chad, when it comes to not picking a side. But I will tell you that I saw the backcourt out of Aquinas. I think it's Ahmed Hill, and I can't remember the other kid's name, but he's a little point guard. I saw him this summer playing with Michael Stokes down there, and I like the backcourt. But Will Avery, you know for a fact that when it comes to a 6'5" kid that's good enough to not only play the point, not good enough to just dribble the ball up the floor and initiate offense, but a guy that's good enough to make plays and understand all of the other intricacies that come along with playing a point guard in P.J. Dozier, that's very, very, very hard to compare against. And also Marcus Stroman. I like my guards here. I like my guards here in South Carolina. Marcus Stroman, who's a South Carolina commit. Matt Howard, 6'5", athletic wing, who will be playing at Penn next year. Of course, we got Aaron Scott, who's also a 6'3" athletic wing, can shoot the three, can finish in transition, loves playing in space, and more importantly, he has that swag that separates him. And let's go to the upstate. Trey Smith will be playing at Tulsa Southern last year, the 6'2", 6'3", a multi-dimensional player. I like my guards here in South Carolina with P.J. Dozier tipping the scale simply because at 6'5", having the ability to play the point, man, that's hard to prepare for. And you know that Will Avery has no point yourself.
Okay, I'm going to throw this name at you. Same type build as Dozier, both about 6'5". I watched him the last Saturday and also tonight. Will Jackson, Athens Christian.
Yep. You
seen this kid yet, Kerry?
I haven't seen him yet. I need to get down there and see some of those guys.
This kid is real. Passed it, had about 5 or 6 blocks both times I saw him. Can score, great jump shot, deep range, athletic. He does it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm stepping in the middle here and try to cool both sides down. Now, Kerry, we're going to be with you this weekend, so hopefully we can set something up where we go head-to-head. We get the video ready of your guys, get the video ready of Will's guys, and we'll have a ball with it. Does that sound good to you, buddy?
Well, that sounds like a winner. Then after that, I'm going to make my way down to the Peach State, and I'm going to take a look at these guys up close and personal with you guys. So that way, whenever we're throwing names out and we're talking about player A, player B, player C, then I'll be able to better give an assessment of what type of players you guys are talking about, because I think you guys are feeding me a bunch of stuff right now, Will Avery.
Hey, Kerry, we'd love to have you down here, man, and we're going to invade your state this weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't wait.
Hey, Kerry, man, take care. We will talk to you very, very soon, and we look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Hey, Sam, I can't wait to see you guys, okay?
Okay, take care, man.
Take care, man.
Okay, now, do we, I'll ask our crew here, do we have Buck now? Buck Harris, the assistant coach at Laney. I don't know about you, Will. In fact, I do know about you, what you'll say to this, but Buck is the best basketball guy in our area. Great to have him on, and what a great favor he did. He went out to his alma mater, well, he went to Lakeside High School to see Lakeside play his alma mater, Westside, your alma mater, Westside. And Buck, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, Chad.
Great. Hey, did you have fun at the game tonight?
It was a good game. Lakeside did their best to stay close for 3.5 quarters, and they did a decent job on Frank tonight, and it was one of those nights where Frank didn't make a lot of shots, but he willed his team to win anyway.
Okay. You know, one thing I've been a little bit interested in and a little bit surprised by this year is Quentin Phillips, number 40 for Westside, sophomore. I'd say probably 6'2", 6'3". Did he continue his good play tonight?
Well, he was very active. He's a very athletic kid. Didn't have a good scoring night tonight, but he did some other good things to help them win. Westside has a very good ball club, and I think the true sign of a good team is being able to go to your bench, which Westside did tonight. Because Frank was off, he didn't have a good scoring night, and Quentin didn't have a good scoring night, but they went to their bench and had some kids to score some points for them.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you know, you mentioned Frank being a little bit off. Our ABR live reporter kind of told us that he had a little rough time Saturday at Thompson, but he was able to make a couple big plays late, getting some offensive rebounds, keeping some balls alive. And, you know, that's what great players do when their shots aren't falling. And it's pretty good that he was able to get that done out at Thompson because, you know, that's a hostile environment, right?
Yes, it is, and the thing that he's doing, what I noticed tonight is that not only is he has to carry the scoring load, but he's rebounding, he's passing, he's calling guys to the huddle. He's an ultimate team leader right now. I mean, he is the backbone of that team. So he's doing he's not only just scoring, but all the other little things that he's doing. You know, he's getting on the floor for loose balls. He's calming guys down when they get too emotional. You know, things that just the average fan probably won't notice, but you know, as a basketball fanatic, you know, you see those things on the floor, and he's going to take that team a long way with that kind of attitude.
Yeah, and Buck, I think you know, you talked to me earlier, and we'll have the guys queue up hopefully the Lakeside. I'm not sure if we have their highlights, but you were impressed with Lakeside's game plan and the way they executed, right?
I was. You know, they came out and they wanted to control the tempo, and they did that for three quarters and probably, you know, 2 or 3 minutes in the fourth. The game was nipped and tucked, you know, 2 or 3 points the whole time. I think Lakeside might have led for the first 3 quarters, and then Frank hit a 3-point basket and got fouled. One of your video people showed me the play where he fell down. There it is right there, but he did get fouled. But I call him Oscar now because he does a hell of a job of acting.
Yes, he does.
But once he made that play, the whole game changed.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're right. He does go down on that 3-ball a little bit. Now, hey, before we let Buck go, do you want to ask him anything about his squad? They had a great weekend, 2 wins over Savannah High School and Beach High School. Would you like to talk to him about the Laney squad?
Definitely. I got down there to see him on Friday night, and one of the things I noticed right away is just, Buck, it seems like your young kids are growing up. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, you know, they don't have a choice, Will. You know, we'll stick them in there. You know, we don't really, if you can play, we're going to play you. You know, no matter if you're in the 9th grade, 10th grade, or whatever. And that's just been our philosophy down in Laney, that, you know, we're going to put the best players on the floor no matter what time it is, especially right now because we look at this as a preseason type thing, and we want to just make sure those kids are getting better by the time January gets here, and we're molding and growing as a team. So, you know, defensively is something that we try to hang our hats on, and those young kids have come in and done that.
Okay. Seems like Quentin Hall is starting to buy into what you guys want him to do as well. He had a big night when I was down there Friday.
Yeah, you know, Quinn is a capable scorer. He's always been able to score the basketball, and we need him to rebound effectively as well in order for us to have a good team. But he's starting to accept a little bit more responsibility as far as being a team leader. But you know, he's definitely a scorer. You know, he can put the ball in the hole, and he's a tough kid.
Yeah. With this size and athleticism, I would really like to see him just be a lockdown defender. I think he could really give a lot of high school guys problems. Yeah.
I agree with you totally right there. And that's one of the things that we're moving toward to Quinn, is get him, because he's going to have to guard some bigger guys, you know, some 6'3", 6'4" type guys later on in the year. And he needs. We got to get him to take a little bit more pride in his defense.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on that, Buck. You guys are doing a great job down there with the young guys. They're coming along fast. I'm going to enjoy watching you guys January and February.
Well, I appreciate you guys having us on there and everything that you guys are doing with the ABR report. And we're looking forward to playing in January and February.
Definitely, definitely. Hey, Buck, thanks so much for tonight. We'll be right back in touch with you, and we'll be, cheering those Wildcats on throughout the season.
Thanks a lot, Chad, and Will. No problem, man.
Okay. All right. Now that we've had our guests, we've had great guests. Let's talk a little bit about the game you were at. We were calling it Tuesday's monster matchup. Glen Hills versus Athens Christian. Will Jackson, one of the top sophomores in the state. Take it away, Will.
Well, first off, I'd like to say Glen Hills is the one team in the area that has an identity. You know what you're going to get when you watch Glen Hills play. You're going to get tenacious defenders, athleticism all over the perimeter, and guys that are tough and want to play defense. Glen Hills' game plan was simple tonight. Will Jackson, you're not coming in here getting 30. The point was, it was plain and simple tonight. Will Jackson is a great player. He played well, but Glen Hills guys gave him problems and fits all night. Yeah.
Wow. We actually had a little discussion on Twitter last night. You said, well, maybe the game plan is to, let him get his 30, not let the other guys get. But you're saying they went right after him, huh?
Went right at him. I talked to Coach Mac Ray before the game, a couple of days before the game, actually. And he told me, he was like, Will, we're going to wear him down. We're going to send different guys at him all night. We're going to just tire him out. And he scored some points, but he had to work really hard to get them.
Yeah.
And one of the things I like about Glen Hills is they do a good job of sharing the ball. And Aubrey McCray, the growth of his game is just, I think it takes them to another level. His ability to create for others. We always knew Aubrey could score, but Aubrey may have had, 6 or 7 assists tonight.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to help this team a lot down the road.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of Aubrey, one of our other expert analysts, Mike Stokes, who was at the Evans game, he wanted to be at this game. He wanted to, and we were talking about it, and he said, well, Will Jackson can play, but Aubrey McCray can play too. So I know those guys over at Glen Hills were up for this one, and just congratulations to those guys. They're 5-0 now. They've beaten Laney on the road. They've beaten Butler on a neutral court. They've beaten Athens Christian. They beat Evans handily on a neutral court, and they beat Alatoona, which I think they were 25-4 last season. So those guys have just done a great job. Very proud of them, and they play North Augusta Friday. North Augusta has been very impressive. They took an L tonight, but they'll be looking to bounce back as well.
And North Augusta is very similar to Glen Hills, but I think with more size. So this should be a great matchup. And it's, like you said, it's on a neutral court. And, Glen Hills is coming off a very good win, and North Augusta is coming off a tough loss. So it should be a good game.
Yeah. Okay, moving on from that, I'd like to quickly, update the viewers on the Aquinas game. The Aquinas got beat at the buzzer, 87-85 by Jenkins County. They were at Jenkins County. The little bit of word I got was that maybe, people there weren't really happy with the calls. But yeah, that's what you're going to get when you go on the road, high school basketball. You just got to play and see how it falls. But we were told Ahmed Hill had 36 points, 12 rebounds, and Michael Meet Scott, you see him there, number 5, had 30 points. So I mean, you get 66 out of your 2 guards. You lose 87-85 to a buzzer beater. I guess the moral of that story is don't give up 87 points.
I was thinking the same thing, Chad. Like, they're not mad at the ref, they're mad at the team. Right. I mean, 87 and 85 points defensively, you're not going to win a lot of games. You're letting the opponents get into the 80s. That's a toss-up.
Right. And so we've seen Aquinas fall to Evans and now Jenkins County. We've also seen them play very well on the road against Richmond. Like a lot of teams, I'd say Aquinas is searching for their identity right now. and I certainly expect them to be around in the thick of things as the season goes along in that single A ball and citywide against all comers. By the way, next Tuesday, you heard it here first. Next Tuesday, Aquinas versus Glen Hills at Aquinas. We will broadcast at abrlive.tv. We will broadcast that game Tuesday night, December 18th. Can't wait for that, right?
Ahmed Hill, bring your lunch pail and your hard hat because you're going to have to work for them against the Spartans.
Well, Michael Scott too now. All those guys.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody on the perimeter, get a lot of sleep Monday night.
Yeah, and Mike is got a lot of history with the Glen Hills guys. Went to Glen Hills Middle School. I'm sure he's very close to all those guys. Ahmed, he's an Augusta guy now, so that's going to be a battle. That's going to be a battle. So you got the group that we maybe talk about most, Ahmed Hill, Michael Scott, and then the group that has just proven so far that they'll take anybody on, and that's the Glen Hills Spartans. So past that, I'd like to quickly talk about one of the girls' teams that had a very good game tonight. We called them a sleeper. I called them a sleeper on the website. This is Hephzibah, by the way, guys. Hephzibah beat Thompson handily, and so I think the point guard for Hephzibah kind of made a comment on Twitter like, "You go ahead and sleep on us if you want," and I don't know if anybody was asleep on Hephzibah, which how could you be with Wendell Lofton, that tradition over there, and so now they're 4-3, wins over now Thompson, Greenbrier, Grovetown, and oh man, Evans consecutively in the last 7-8 days. So Hephzibah looks to be well on their way. The Hephzibah girls, Cross Creek girls also won tonight. They're extremely talented and extremely capable. So big night of high school basketball, right?
Definitely. And two things on the Hephzibah girls. One, Coach Lofton probably has never been called a sleeper.
Yeah. Sorry, Coach. Sorry.
Two, he's probably thanking us for that bulletin board material.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, they started off with 3 losses. Yeah. So, I was thinking, they might. But you know what I did? I underestimated Greenbrier. So Greenbrier beats Hephzibah in that third loss, and so I'm thinking, maybe they're not so good. But Greenbrier's good.
Really good. Really good. Well coached, veteran team. They got the trio of TMT.
Yeah, run TMT, right?
Yeah, there you go. And a great spark plug, and Mallory Myers coming off the bench. They're fun to watch, and they're going to surprise a lot of teams this year.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and sign off now. If I don't know if we have it, but if our guys have a closing, piece or whatever, we'll throw that in here in a second. Totally enjoyed it. abrlive.tv. Catch the Oak Hill Keenan game this weekend. Catch the Oak Hill Ridgeview game. Catch my team, Greater Augusta Independent Schools. That will all be broadcast this Friday and Saturday. And then catch Aquinas and Glen Hills next Tuesday, all at abrlive.tv. How about we say this, Will? We'll see them in the gym.
See you in the gym.